Hi guys, welcome back to Taste with Twist. Today let's make some egg puffs at home. Firstly, I have taken 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 150 grams of butter at room temperature, some salt and 130 ml of water and 1/4 tablespoon of cooking soda. Mix cooking soda and salt into the flour. Add water little by little to make stiff dough. We are making puff pastry sheets now. It will take a long time, at least half a day. So if you want to make these puff pastry sheets at home, start when you have a lot of time at hand. I have kneaded the dough and now I am adding approximately 20 grams of butter to the dough and I am kneading it again. As I said, this process is a long process, but you need not have to work all the day to make this. With gaps, you have to work for only half an hour to make this recipe or make puff sheets at home. After kneading the dough a little, I have sprinkled some flour onto the work surface and now I am gently rolling the dough out. I am rolling the dough out to make a big rectangle. Keep the dough at least ½ inch thick. After you have rolled the dough into a rectangle, now let's add butter. This butter is at room temperature. It has softened a little bit and I am using unsalted butter here. You should use unsalted butter to make puff pastry sheets. Spread butter only in 2/3 portion of the rectangle. I have finished spreading the butter now. Now I am folding the sheet. This is important. Lift the part of the sheet where you have not applied butter and fold it to 1/3 of the sheet and lift the other 1/3 and fold it on top of the first one. Stretch the corners a little to make a perfect rectangle. Our first time spreading the butter is done now. I am transferring the puff pastry sheet to a tray. Cover it with a damp cloth and freeze this for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, start stretching the dough again. Start rolling the dough again. Make a rectangle out of the dough and repeat the process. If you see little tears in the sheet, it is okay. Again, I am spreading butter to only 2/3 portions of the rectangle. Fold the unbuttered part first and cover this with the other side of the dough sheet. Stretch the corners a little to make a perfect rectangle. Sprinkle some flour onto the tray and carefully transfer the puff sheet over to the tray. Cover it with a damp cloth and freeze this for second time for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, take the puff sheet out and repeat the same process. For 3 times we will be doing the same thing. Spread the dough into a rectangle and add butter to 2/3 portion of the dough sheet and fold it as an envelope. The 1/3 portion of unbuttered dough sheet goes first and the buttered portion covers it. This is called envelope fold. Unbuttered portion goes first and the buttered 1/3 portion covers this. Stretch the corners a little to make perfect rectangle. This is the third time we are placing this puff sheet in the fridge. Cover the puff sheet with a damp cloth and rest it in the freezer for 20 minutes. Not the refrigerator portion but freezer portion. After 20 minutes, this is the final time we will be working with our dough sheet to make our puff pastry sheets. This time, roll the sheet to form a big rectangle and spread the entire part of remaining butter to entire part of the sheet. Not just 2/3 portion, cover the entire sheet with butter. You will have to work with the dough for only 10 to 15 minutes at maximum, but you will have to wait for a longer portion to make this recipe at home. I am simply spreading the remaining butter onto the puff sheet pastry. Now I am folding the sheet in book form, book fold. Simply fold the one portion and the other portion like I am showing you, like a book. Stretch the corners to fit perfectly. Now rest this sheet on a tray, cover it with a damp cloth, and you will have to freeze this only for 10 minutes now. After 10 minutes, take out the puff pastry sheets. Roll it into a big rectangle. Keep the rectangle at least ½ inch thick. These are our puff pastry sheets. We will use these sheets to make our egg puffs or any other stuffing that you like with your puffs. You need not use all the puff pastry sheets right away. Simply dust them with flour and place them in a Ziploc bag to use for later. Meanwhile, I have preheated my oven to 220 degrees. I have taken few puff pastry sheets. I have sprinkled a little bit of black pepper and some salt. Now I am placing eggs that I have cut in halves in the center of the puff pastry sheet. Fold the corners as I am showing you. If the dough doesn't hold together, simply dampen the dough a little bit with water and press it. Apply some water to the corners and pinch it together. Bake these egg puffs at 220 degrees for 20 minutes. Once you make puff pastry sheets at home, whatever filling you like, you can make those puffs at home. Here are the egg puffs that I have made today. You can see the puff part is very crunchy and it has so many layers as we have folded the dough 3 to 4 times. Hope you will give this recipe a try. Thanks for watching and until next time, bye.